Watch the ride.
Hello everybody, it's Christmas. We are doing our Q&A. I have the questions from my video, Reeno has the questions from her video, and we're going to go through and answer them for a bit. Although I don't think we should make this an hour long.
No, probably not. Guano Man, who says... Guano Man, who says, ho ho ho, I got a question for you. Do you now or have you ever had an unholy alliance with... What? Rita Repulsa from the Power Rangers? Because if not, may have to pucker up. Mwahaha. I don't understand that question.
I don't understand it at all either.
That makes no sense. I actually really don't like the Power Rangers either.
No.
They irritate me so much.
Why? They're just so animated.
They're just too animated. It's too much. I can't deal with it.
Right, the first comment is an actual question on mine. It's from Bimble. If we lived in a world where the internal combustion engine had never been invented and therefore we had no cars or motorbikes, but animals were the size of cars and motorbikes and loved to be ridden by humans, what animal would you choose as your trusty steed? I ride around on my giant red squirrel. His name would be Cyril and we'd live on the Wirral and occasionally I'd help him with nuts. Over to you. Merry Christmas.
Okay.
Thanks, Bimble.
I'm trying to think of a good animal to ride.
I'm just going to say giant tiger and I can be like He-Man.
I'd like to ride an elephant. I can't think.
You want that to be your daily travel?
No, there was an
Do you think
animal
seat
that I had
height
in
might be a problem?
Yeah,
You're not going to
actually,
flat foot an elephant.
Yeah, but it could lift me up with its trunk and put me on the back.
You trust it?
It would be a friendly elephant. Wolfie Pix asks, Spicy, what is your favourite invention? And for me, if I had to ride one of your bikes, which bike would it be and why? And it can only be DIVI or Derek. Well, I would ride DIVI because I fit on DIVI and I do not fit on Derek. I'd probably just fall off of Derek.
Derek could pick you up with his trunk and put you on
He
him.
doesn't have a trunk.
Oh.
But
He might.
no, he doesn't. I would ride DIVI. And what is your favourite invention?
That's really
Hard
difficult.
question, isn't it?
Favourite inventions too. You could say the wheel.
Yes,
Then I
because
could
without that,
say
it wouldn't be motorcycles.
For making metal, because nothing would exist without that.
True.
So let's just say a balloon
Cheese.
whisk.
A balloon whisk?
Yeah. It's not really, I don't know. There's too many things. Lathes, welding. Right, Harry Brown, I've got a question for Reeno.
Oh.
As I approach 19, I am planning to do my A2. I have looked at a number of bikes and was wondering, is the Honda CBR 500 comfortable for long distance touring? I'd love to hear Spicy's opinion too. Have a great Christmas and New Year.
I haven't done any long distance touring on that bike, but it is actually very comfy. Any ride I've ever gone on, even if it's been a long ride, I think the longest ride I've gone on that bike is halfway to Loomies and back on a day that I had off, but I didn't get to go all the way there because there was a storm coming. Yeah, because I wanted to go out for a ride.
That's the furthest you've ridden on it since you
Yeah, because then winter came and I couldn't go anywhere, and then we were going out, we were doing walks and stuff and this, and we weren't riding because it was too hot.
I just thought you had taken it.
No, that's why I was so desperate to get out all the time. I want to go on a long ride. So I've only been not that far on it, but when I ride it is very comfy. I've never been uncomfortable on it at any point. So I would say it is comfy, but I can't vouch for long distance touring because I haven't done that.
Well, the short answer is yes.
It is comfy.
It's a comfy bike. And its engine is very happy
Yes.
at motorway speeds.
Yes, it is, yeah. It is very good.
Yours?
My next question. That fiery ginger said, "Hey, glad you are alive." Me too. Happy 3-year anniversary. My question is, what would you love to get for Christmas? Well, we both already know what we got each other for Christmas.
Well, we do.
I wanted a game, and
I wanted a heater, so I'm not cold in the garage.
it's good presents.
Fat bum. Hi Spice110. I'm planning to take my direct access next year once I have a bike, etc. your advice in a previous video. Thanks. Okay. In the meantime, I'm planning to buy a helmet, leather jacket, Kevlar, jeggings.
Jeggings? Oh, Kevlar jeggings. I've seen them.
Etc. Does Reeno ride? And if so, can she or you even review kit and bikes from the female perspective? I sat my boyfriend's Yamaha TRX 850 and the seat position is too high for me. I'm 5'6", so not a complete midget. Obviously that's not the bike I want as a new rider, but it occurred to me as a female that biking has a slightly different perspective. Keep up the good work. Happy birthday for the other day, 10th, and thank you for your vlogs and joy to watch. Sally. So,
this is why I want to make more videos that are related to women, because women will always worry about everything. If you're 5'6", you'll fit on a lot more bikes than I do, because I'm only 5'3", so you have more luck than me. I do actually have a video. It's not really, it's kind of a review, I guess, of all of my bike jeans that I have. And I show my jacket, and I don't show my full leathers, but I show my bike jeans. So I have that video.
something I will add though is don't get jeggings.
No, I wouldn't trust them.
Kevlar jeans
Yes.
or leathers.
Yes, Kevlar
Those are your
jeans.
options. Or textile motorcycle trousers, but don't skimp on protection. Just it's as much as you want abrasion protection, you also need protection from hitting stuff.
Yes,
So
armour
I
all
don't
the way.
advise those. One thing I will say about gear for women is the problem that a lot of it isn't as protective as male stuff.
Yes.
And you won't have much of an option, but some companies do, like Day and Easy, but they're expensive.
Yes, that's why I made my video with my bike jeans, because I wanted something that looked nice but also had all the protection, because a lot of women's gear, if it looks really nice, it either doesn't have as much Kevlar in it, it's not fully Kevlar lined, or it doesn't have armour or doesn't come with armour. So the bike jean video that I did shows all the jeans I have that are either fully lined, part lined, with or without armour, and show what they look like on me as well. So if you're watching it and want to know what it looks like, you'd then know that from
Short
seeing
answer
that.
being watch the video.
Yeah, watch the video. It might help in some way. RC Maniac asks, do you have any tips/tricks for new riders for dealing with long hair in a helmet? Do you have any tips and tricks for new riders dealing with glasses while wearing a helmet? And also, what are your top 4 favourite kinds of cheese and why? So that's like more than one question.
3 questions.
For long hair, I plait mine. Either I will put them in 2 separate plaits, or 1 long side plait, or plait it from behind. I don't put it in a ponytail anymore because it just gets windswept and destroyed and covered in knots, and it's not fun.
Short answer, get it cut.
Yeah, but I didn't want to cut their hair off, like me.
I had long hair for a very long time, and the first time I put a helmet on after I had my hair cut off, I cannot tell you how nice and pleasant it is to not have long hair. Unless you're extremely attached to having long hair, it will only be a pain in the butt.
Well, I'm not cutting mine off, so that's my tips if you have long hair and you don't want to cut it off short.
And the rest of the questions?
Also, for glasses, my only tip for that would be buy a helmet that has the little cutouts on the inside, because it'll probably make it easier. I wear contact lenses. That's probably the best thing to do, because then you don't have to wear the glasses and your helmet at the same time. I've never done that, so I don't know what it's like. And cheese, I like cheddar, Edam, smoked cheddar, even though that's probably the same type of cheese. Brie.
You've already got to 4.
That's 4.
Right. My answer, take your glasses with you when you try helmets on.
Yes.
Simple. And cheddar, 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 cheddar. It's all
Every
about the
cheddar.
Hold on a minute. Question. Aidan Lamb, hang on a minute. We already answered your question. What's your opinion on Xmas as a whole? Did you ever watch Top Gear? If so, what's your opinion about it? What, if any, TV shows, YouTube channels, movies are you watching at the moment, and that we've not heard of before? Right, so starting at Christmas, I kind of think I don't like the whole buying present side of Christmas. I wish it, because it's become all about that. It's just materialistic. I'd rather we didn't buy each other presents, because not many people have got money these days, so rather than us being forced to spend money on each other, it's like, oh, I'll give you this and I'll give you this back. It's like, well, now we've all had to spend something and probably have something we wouldn't have bought ourselves necessarily.
It does become a
Depending.
very expensive time of
So
year.
I like it if we could do away with the whole present giving thing. Do or did I ever watch Top Gear? Yes, I used to watch it when it was the original 3, and I liked it, but I was getting more and more sick of the scriptedness of it, and the way that they were trying to suggest something was real that really wasn't, and unfortunately it wasn't funny enough to get past that, so it was really obvious. I've watched the Grand Tour and I like it. I think it's going to change this year. It's going to be just the road trip stuff, and that might improve it, because some of the stuff they were doing, like in the studio, was just an absolute waste of time. It was terrible. But I don't want. And as for the replacement Top Gear that's on the BBC, I watched a few episodes of it, just didn't like it, and no one likes it, I don't think. So there's that. What, if any, TV shows do you watch? We don't really watch TV.
No, not really.
Like, the other day I think we watched something on TV. Actually, no, the first time, it wasn't even on TV, we watched it on Catch Up.
Oh, what, the Lego thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I haven't watched TV in months, because I don't like the world's moved on. I can always find something to watch on YouTube, or Netflix, or Amazon, or something like that. As for movies, what films have we seen recently that were good?
We watched the new Tomb Raider film.
That was good.
That was pretty good.
We watched, Cockneys and Zombies.
Oh,
Cockneys v Zombies. That was
funny. That was pretty funny.
It's an old film, but I hadn't seen it. Oh, I missed one. What the last ones to be eaten from the big sweet can? Are big sweet cans still called cans, even though they're mostly plastic? Do you think you were careless asking for an interesting sample without specifying nothing that needs a bottle?
What?
Right, okay. I call them tins, not cans, and I'd still call them tins, even though they're made of plastic.
Yeah, I would.
Actually, no, I tend to call them boxes.
Tins of sweets.
Yeah,
the tins are the round ones.
Yeah, but tins are tin. Tins are made of metal, and plastic ones, I just call them pots, as they're plastic.
Tubs. Tub of sweets.
Pots. And do you think I was careless for asking for an interesting sample without specifying nothing needing a bottle? I was careless in thinking that it wouldn't just end up being the nightmare that it's become. You probably haven't seen that video yet. It's in the making, and it went. The plan did not go the way I hoped.
Lord Bilious wants me to punch you in the arm.
Lord Bilious, can you punch Spicy hard enough to give him a dead arm?
Probably not.
And then ask him if he's going to pull his finger out and arrange a deep fried bad sausage fest for 2019. Answer for the sausage fest, don't know. I hope so, maybe, but I've still got to work out location, and yeah, I'll see. I don't know yet.
May Crotch asks, Happy Cheesemas, Spicy and Reeno, you awesome pair. A question for you both. If your feet looked like cheese, which cheese would they resemble? I don't know. I don't know enough cheese names. Or cheeses.
Philadelphia. Yeah, I've got problems.
Oh.
Lord Bilious, hang on a minute, not a question,
yours too.
and I know the difficulties involved, but you two need to do a road trip tour vlog. I'm suggesting going to the Isle of Man. It can be reasonably cheap for a season. I'd be going next year for my first few days in blah, blah. I have my priorities of things to do are pay bills, survive. Going on holiday is somewhere down over there.
Distance.
Probably not for the moment. We might in the future. But part of the problem is I'm self-employed, so if I take a week off, whereas in most people, get paid for that week, I don't. So not only does it cost me money to go and do something, I then don't earn any money for that, so I'm already
losing out.
Losing out and then spending out.
Yeah. Charlie H says, Merry Christmas! If you had to dye your hair, what colour would you dye it? Probably a purple or a pink. Not that I like pink, but I just don't think green or blue would look terrible. Pink might match the colour because it's dark, and purple, but I think would look nice. Not red, because everyone dyes their hair red. It's just no.
Grey.
Why?
Well, then people stop IDing me. I get ID'd. Go, oh, can I have this bottle of rum, please? And they're like, got any ID? I'm 33.
I like how one time they ID'd you, but they didn't ID me, and I clearly look younger. That was really funny.
Okay, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to get it wrong. Mi festu. 2 wheels. I'm sorry. I need to go back to the video. He basically, I've been saying this guy's name wrong forever. He corrected me on a video. I said it correctly. He said the first time you said it was the right way, and I was going to go back and watch it 10 times so I knew exactly how to say it, and I'll be honest, I haven't done it. And if I got it wrong again, I'm sorry. Mi festu 2 wheels. I wanted to ask you what you guys gave each other, but I think that was a question from last year. So, we've already answered that anyway. When do you get a Greenland in dual vlog?
Never.
Well, you're not going to be taking your CBR on Greenland yet. I suppose you could come back on the back of Derek, but...
Would that work?
Well, it would work until I needed to balance well.
Then it wouldn't. And I don't fit on any dirt bikes either, so...
And have you ever made something for Reeno Metalworks style?
Yes! He has made me these little snails. Is that focused?
Probably.
Little
They're not brilliant. They were
snail.
a testing idea.
And I also have some of these that didn't... Oh, God. That weren't good enough to go to the store. So I ended up with them.
Actually, I think one of them was good enough. I just gave it to you.
It's pretty. Really hard to show on camera. Oh, can I show this?
Probably.
It'll demonetize your video. Also, I got sent this, which says "love you," and then on the back, it also there's then that. Oh, when it focuses.
I was just practicing drawing on aluminium. And yes, before anyone says it, I need a haircut, okay? But if you forget to book in December, you're not going to get one done. So yes, I'm just putting that in there before they say, God, Spicy needs to get his bayonet chopped. While Reeno's trying to find a question, May Crotch, hi Spicy and Reeno, hope you are looking forward to Xmas. If you both could ride a BMW R9T for the day, or Betty, if she was still alive, which would you choose? I continue to be stunned by your awesomeness. All the best 2019. You're a brilliant pair. Cheese out. Thank you, May Crutch. A very, very dedicated follower of both of us, and basically a purveyor of cheese names beyond my level. I can't believe there's that many cheeses. Every video there is a comment on of a cheese, and I just didn't even know that was. This has been going on for months. Yeah, there's all cheese names, but they've had to get more and more obscure as you get rid of like cheddar and Edam and all that sort of stuff. If I had a choice between running Betty or an R9T for the day, probably the R9T.
I would pick the R9T.
I'm afraid. Just because I...
Yeah, but you've already ridden one, haven't you? So it'd be like, do you want to ride one again, or do you want to reincarnate Betty for one day?
No, because they've improved Betty.
But
Betty had a rear drum brake. That's what I'm saying. They've improved it. I've ridden the Lex Moto Adrenaline. It was way better than Betty was, apart from not quite as quick. Yes, the old ones were faster, amazingly. And I just like the R9T, and I don't get the I would like to ride one again.
I would like to.
My back would probably hate me for it, though.
Sponge1310 asks, have you or Spicy ever ridden a quad/ATV, and do you think it would make a good everyday vehicle? Probably not, but
if you're a farmer and you need to go around the fields,
yeah,
be good. If you're on the road, people use them, but they scare me because I think somehow, no matter how you crash a quad, it is going to land on you. If you go over this way, it lands on you. If you go over that way, it lands on you. If it goes backwards, well, you hit the floor and then it lands on you.
So no, not a good everyday vehicle.
My brother wants to get one, and I don't think it's a good idea. I just don't think they're a good vehicle on the road. You have less control. I don't know. Maybe they're better than bikes in the way that they don't skit
They've
around in
got
the
more
wet so much.
than 2 wheels, but they're also very low down.
If you find it fun and you can do it relatively safely, then yeah, it's the best vehicle in the world. But I've never ridden one, no. Driven one. I might have driven a really little one. Well, not a really little one, but a very underpowered one for a short amount of time at something. But I can't. It was so long ago, I can't remember. Scott Verleen, I think that's how it's pronounced. I am new to the channel, so forgive me if these questions have been answered. 1. Do you think vlogging and social media can grow the dwindling ranks of riders? Yeah, definitely. I think it helps get more people on the road because it basically removes a lot of the fear and the unknown, and it also gives them the ability to see what it's like and see what the fun we have. And I mean, from the amount of people that have said they started riding off the back of my videos, it's hundreds by this point. So yes, I think it can help, but I don't think it's going to solve the problem in the UK. I think if they start making bikes a little bit more affordable, because the prices of bikes have gone like that in recent years. Like, it used to cost, a 600 used to be about £6,000, £7,000, and now it's like much more, depending on what you get. And number 2, what drives you to put in the time and effort? I just enjoy doing it.
Passion. It's
just, I enjoy doing it. If I didn't enjoy it, I wouldn't be doing it.
Exactly. Same here. I like making videos, I like filming stuff, so if you love it, you're always going to want to do it, no matter what, so. Rodney Fisher asking, when will I be doing my full A licence, and will Spicy help me pass my full A licence? 1, I don't know. There's kind of no point doing that at the moment, but I keep thinking it might be a good idea at some point because then I won't be as restricted, but I don't think we're ever going to upgrade my bike, so I don't know. 2,
You'll have a different bike at some point.
At some point, yeah. It probably would be, I would only do it for convenience because it means I'm not restricted. And I probably wouldn't get like 1,000, but...
Yeah, but then you also can't have any of the... Well,
I know,
you can
the
have some of the
600s, exactly, but I have to restrict them.
Yeah.
So it makes life easier. And will Spicy be helping me pass my licence? Don't know.
Probably not, because you've passed the A2, and that's exactly you literally the A2 is exactly the same as the A. You just do it on a different bike.
Exactly.
And even then, I mean, like I did mine on a Gladius, and I'd say that your bike feels more peppy than a Gladius. Probably isn't. Don't get offended if you own a bike with a boob for a headlight.
I thought you said a boob for a headlight.
I did.
What do you mean a boob?
The headlight on the Gladius looks like a boob.
Why?
No,
because it's like
Ginger
round,
has a Gladius, and I used to always go up and
does it have like a nipple?
Kind of, but it kind of just looks like a boob. I don't know how it got started.
Boob bike.
Question.
Next question. GHP Productions asks. I asked Spicy the same question on his channel, but whatever. I may have missed it in your old videos, but what was your first bike? My first bike was the CBF 125. Oh, fucking hell. Let me start again. My first bike was the Honda CBF 125, and yours was Betty?
Betty, which was a Pulse Adrenaline 125cc.
Someone called LTech12 says, will you ever ride dirt? Street is pretty boring in comparison, yeah? Alright then.
Yeah, man, because like hardcore for the mud.
Why is street boring? Probably
Well,
because you're just in traffic.
I can understand, like, riding off-road is massively fun.
Well, yeah.
And riding on the road is can be at times boring, but normally when you have a bike, it's because you need to get to A to B.
Exactly.
And then if you want to enjoy it,
then you do whatever you want.
Then you do whatever you want.
It would be awkward for me. I can't do that stuff. I'm too short to fit on dirt bikes.
You can, until you can't.
Well, I could. I'm not
could
confident
if you
enough.
learned to.
Yeah, if I learnt how to somehow get on it and not
my answer
crash.
is, we'll just get a supermoto and ride to the green lanes, go down the green lanes, and then ride home again. Although you can equally do that on an XJ6, which I have, or a scooter.
Oh yeah, I remember that. 125 as well, wasn't it?
Chris Dixon, Q&A, hi Spicy, what bike would you choose between Ducati Hypermotard 939 SP or the Ducati 899 Panigale, and why? Also, I know you probably won't want to, but would you like me to send you some carbon fibre I've infused with epoxy resin? If it's carbon fibre sheets, that's very handy. I do use it, but so far the stuff I've been sent unfortunately has got scratches in it, so it's most of the stuff I got sent had scratches in it. I was able to use some pieces, but I'm now buying carbon fibre to use it, and it's not entirely cheap. So if you've got any that's like sheet stuff, up to like 2 mil, then yeah, I'd be interested. But anyway, back to your original question, which is which would I choose between the Panigale or the Hypermotard? The Hypermotard because, well, I do like sports bikes, but that thing would cripple my spine. And Hypermotards, anything that's closer to Supermoto is always more fun, in my opinion. Would I have one? Not sure if I could get on with all the issues they have. You probably don't know about all that.
No.
Some electrical bugs.
Uh-oh.
Warlock.
I think it says Glories. Asks, how long were you both riding before lane cutting? So I assume
Lane
means
splitting.
filtering.
Oh
God.
I started straight away.
I didn't. Took me a long time. I don't actually know.
I actually kind of worked my way up to it a bit because I didn't know if it was legal at the time, and I was a bit concerned. And people seem to have this like, oh, it is legal and it isn't legal, and I was like, well, I don't know if I should be doing this or not. And then I'd filter, but I'd never filter past a police car. And when I eventually found out it was fine, then I'd just filter past anyone. I in fact quite enjoy filtering past police cars because I'd love to see one of them have a problem with it.
Yeah,
But they won't because it's legal. Defensible in court these days as well.
I always knew it was legal, I just was never confident enough to do it. And then when I first did it, I was like, oh, this is amazing! I was like, felt so powerful passing all these cars, like, bye! I don't really do it that often, but I do actually filter a lot more now on my bigger bike than I did on my 125. And I think it's mostly because my bike now is louder and more people notice me than they did on my old one. So, and I'm more confident in riding as well, so, but I still only do it when cars are fully stopped.
I'll filter on anything.
Yeah, you will, yeah.
Anything
through anything. Caldersen asks, what cheeses would you put in a Christmas hamper? And then Peacekeeper says, if you could take your bikes on holiday somewhere overseas, where would you go and why? Cheeses, I would just put all my favourite cheeses and maybe a cheese that people like because, I don't know.
Cheddar. So it's the answer to everything.
Sure answer, everything cheddar.
Would you be disappointed if I gave you cheddar?
No.
Would anyone else be disappointed if they were given cheddar?
They might if they didn't eat cheese.
Well, we don't care about people who don't eat cheese.
Well, okay.
I'm joking.
But
you are dead to me. Not really.
What,
you might be there might be lactose intolerance, a bit unfair.
Oh yeah, true. They might get sick if they eat it.
But you disappoint me. Your genes disappoint me.
Genes disappoint me.
It's a bit harsh. What was the other question you were answering?
If you could take your bike on a holiday somewhere overseas, where would you go and why? It's quite an interesting question because there's many places that you would want to go overseas, but you wouldn't ever think about riding there. But when you think about riding somewhere, it changes everything.
Well, no one says ride. Yeah, but do they mean ride there or do they mean take your bike there?
Take your bike there and then ride it around there. That's what I assume.
Well, you could take that on a train. Some trains can do that. I would go to...
On a train?
Mm-hmm. You can transport your bike on a train.
What, a motorcycle?
Yes. Like the Eurotunnel goes under the sea and it's a train with cars on it, you can also put cars on...
I didn't know it had cars on it. I thought it was just people. I've never been on it.
The Eurotunnel is a train
yeah.
that you drive up to, you drive in, and you can literally sit in your car as you go under the... Every now and then, me and Reeno have discussions and she has realisations of things.
I didn't know that.
Yes. How do you think people drive to France?
No, I thought they, made their way there, maybe, drove to a train station and got on that train takes them to France, they go there for, a weekend, they come home and then pick their car up.
No, you drive into the Channel Tunnel. There is a train for just sitting on the train and going on foot.
Oh, maybe.
But there's also one.
I didn't know that.
To go.
That's quite interesting. I don't know. I know someone who once went across Australia on a motorcycle. I think that sounds pretty interesting. I think America would be a good place to ride on a motorcycle. Probably just because they have a lot of really open places and all like the deserts and the like really nice scenery. I think that would be a good thing. But I can't think of anything else really.
I'd take Derek to a desert island because he would enjoy sunbathing on the sand with me.
What, when you crash?
No! You just go there, he lays on the beach and sunbathes, and so do I. Why does the bike have to be right? Can the holiday not be for the bike? If the bike's being ridden, it's not a holiday for the bike.
Where would the bike like to go on holiday?
Where would the bike like to go on holiday?
That's the question.
Where would the mule like to go on holiday?
She looks pretty annoyed.
No one can understand. Frazrock, again, are you usually early or late? Actually, I'm usually early
I'm always
or
late.
bang on time because I do things like I'll make sure I'm there 15 minutes early, and if I'm a few minutes, so I'm not too early, I'll just stop 5 minutes down the road and then go there and be bang on time because I have a big thing about being punctual. Reeno's approach is more, I guess the time that we have is kind of a starting time. And any time after that would be applicable.
I have a reputation of turning up late.
Not for work.
No, work is fine, but
work.
if
She's never late for work. But if I have to meet her anywhere, you can normally say, "Oh, I'll meet you there at 1:30," and then go there at 1:45, and she'll probably arrive just after. Now,
yeah, all the
right.
mine have gone.
We're on to my questions now, so I'll try and pick some that Reeno can answer instead. Gavin, or both of us, Gavin Colburn, should insurance companies be allowed to use Gumtree and eBay to get market values? In my honest opinion, Gumtree and eBay does not show proper market values. It just shows what someone is wanting, usually under market value for a quick sale over the market. But I know what you're saying. Basically, when you crash your bike or when your bike is stolen, they will look at a fair market value, which is how much your bike of the same sort of condition and mileage will sell for, and that's what they'll give you. Always argue this. All you need to do is go online and find the 5 or 6 that have sold for the most amount of money you possibly can. That some you're like, who on earth ever paid that? They got ripped off. Find those and take screenshots or print off and send or links and send them to them, and they hopefully should help improve that. I don't know because it's what something's sold for. So they were the ones who make the rules, and no one's gonna be able to stop them doing it. But I also find things like the glasses guide is very often not right. I mean, like the DRZ currently on the glasses guide is for mine is about 2,500. And I know I can sell that bike for over 3,000 all day long because it hasn't kept up with the trend that the prices are going quickly. So, don't know really. John Baker, have either of you guys ever accidentally called each other by your real names in videos and had to edit it out?
I almost said your name once in a vlog. Because I was talking about us and us being together for like 3 years. And I went, oh, me and then I nearly said your name and I was like,
Colin.
Ah! But I didn't. I just clocked it then and then I just resaid it.
I've been so practised in not saying names for so long now that no, I don't really make that mistake.
No.
DC, do you think you would have made bigger and better things with the Metalworks if the stuff with your back hadn't happened, or would you be doing smaller things with the clocks and keychains? And do you think you'd be 100k subs right now? I think they're basically saying, do I feel like if I'd made bigger and better things than the clocks and things, would I have done better on YouTube? If I did more builds, then yes, I probably would, but I wouldn't make as much money. The whole ethos of making those giant sculptures to sell is so much harder than you think, because you've got to find all these parts, you've then got to make this thing, and then try and sell it to someone. Now, I made a Dragonfly in 2 weeks, and it took me a little while to find a buyer for that, and I didn't get as much as I probably could have done for it. So the people that do that normally are making something for someone to try and sell it to them. Like people will, or they'll be commissioned by a company to make something. So when you see these people doing these giant builds, it's because they've been commissioned to do it. I don't have the space to make giant stuff, and I don't really have the access to all those sorts of, that many parts. So if I did some massive build like I could do that. Physically it's difficult on space, but physically I could do it. If I made videos on it and put it on YouTube, yes, I'm sure it would do me good. But what that will mean is I've spent months or weeks and a lot of money in parts and all that sort of stuff making something which I will then have trouble selling, and certainly the revenue from YouTube is not going to reimburse me for all that time and work. So basically it doesn't work out economically viable for me to do that. It works out better that I do what I do now, basically. Phil 480, who do you think would win in a big cat fight between Tony the Tiger, Frosties, and and Chester Cheetah, Cheetos?
Oh my god. I don't know enough about Chester, so I'm going to say Tony.
Tony would win because
he's great!
and it's not easy being cheesy.
Oh god.
Actually, no. Bonus last question, bonus meme.
Bonus meme.
Spoons are, because I always end up answering a question from Spoons are. If you and Reeno were a song, what would it be and why?
A song? I don't know. Have you already got an idea? You look like you already know something.
It's the crab song.
Yeah, with the crabbies and the dancing.
She loves the crabs and they...
with their little feet going...
Meow.
That would be my favourite song.
Come on. Meow.
Meow.
Come on, we've got to end the video. Hurry up.
So slow.
I've got it.
Stuck on your thing.
Happy Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
And have a good New Year. Thank you for the support of both of us in the past year. There have been troubling times. Will you just do it for the video? Oh, we're friends! Friends!
Bye then. Bye!
If you enjoyed this video and the other content on the channel, please consider following the links in the description to show your support.